Gauteng Education says they're aware of the issue that parents are facing when it comes to the placement of their children in schools for the new academic year. This as hundreds of parents and learners queued at the department's district offices in Morningside, trying to make last attempts to find spaces for their children. Now, close to 3,000 learners have not been placed in Gauteng schools thus far. SABC News reporter Calvin Dudla has more.
We're still here in Morningside at the Department of Education. In one of the districts, as you can see behind me, parents are trying to make their last attempt to find the spaces for their children. The departmental spokesperson, Steve Mabona, is with us here. He has been engaging with some of them. Thank you very much, Mr. Mabona. Your conversation with them, how did it go?
Look, there's a process here. Parents are being attended to. We have different areas that the office is responsible for. It's your Midrand Ivory Park area where we are highly pressured. You also have the Alexander area, and you also have those that are coming from the inner city where this office is responsible for those schools. So they are being attended to, and mostly is those that would have been placed already, but they are not happy with the placement. One are those that are saying they cannot afford to pay school fees. They learned that the fees are high than what they anticipated. There are those that are saying they don't want fee paying, they want no fee paying schools. And there are those that are complaining about language, that the language that they want their children to learn with it's not accommodated at a certain school. So those are the ones that we are really assisting. Then there are those that are not placed at all, which we understand, because out of the 2,919 unplaced learners, we have over 700 grade 1 learners. And when you look at the entire number, Johannesburg East, which is this area, account for about 1,000. The remaining 2,000 is for Ekurhuleni. So you anticipated that you might have parents that will say the applications, it's still being processed and all that. So we've been negotiating with schools to increase capacity so that we can then make sure that we place those that need transfers as well. We will be working with schools to check on where we can then relocate, their applications in the system. And then we have a category of inner grades, those that would have went to schools and they could not be assisted, or they went to schools are sending them here, which is unfair really to parents, because we said to the schools, why would they send parents here? Because they know that we are waiting for a 10 days head count. That's when we will be in a position to deregister those that are not coming back, and then we accommodate the inner grades. But we are not turning people back here. Everyone is being attended. You might have realized that when we arrived here, there were parents that were outside. We had to clear inside and make sure that everyone is inside, so that people are comforted that they're going to be attended to. Because you can't have people outside the premises and they will be agitated and things like those. So we accommodated everyone inside. And the inner grades, we are taking their details. We should be in a position to interact with them because schools, they have sent them here. So we can't send them back to schools. And this is what we are putting an emphasis on, to say, if parents are saying they are frustrated by the system, but schools are not managing admissions as per to our satisfaction. Because if you don't have a recourse, then where are you going to go? Because there's no system. You go to school, they don't accommodate you, you've got nowhere to go, they just send you to the district. But if we utilize the system, we would have in a better place to know that at this school they've got so many grade 11s that want to come here, grade 10, grade 9, all those grades. We will be in a position to know. But now we don't know, and we don't know their pressures. So that's why it's a little bit unfair for schools to send parents at the district offices.
Okay, let's talk about those who were told by your officials that they need to come after 10 days, which means their children will stay at home for close to 10 days.
Yes, those are the inner grades that I'm talking about. Remember, we need to do a 10 days head count, meaning that those that want to transfer to other schools, if they were to decide, those parents to say, I want to go back to my school, even if they have a remove or a transfer, they can still go back there because they would not be deregistered. So you can't tell them that I filled your space. What gave you a right to say you fill my space? Because you were not outside 10 days. Because it's only after 10 days where we can then deregister.
Okay.
So for those that are coming, want to transfer to other schools, and those that want to be accommodated, they're in the same space because both of them must wait for 10 days head count.
Okay, let's talk about those parents who are saying that this online system must be scrapped, it's not working.
No, not in Gauteng. Maybe in other areas, not in Gauteng. I mean, if I were to make an example for you now, in Western Cape, they're sitting with over 7,000 of unplaced children. Because they don't have a system, they don't even know how many the late applicants are there or they will be attending to. Because why? All those people are going to different schools. They are going to different schools. So it's not even easy for them to know how many people are coming, how many need to be attended to. They rely on schools, and it takes time for them to collate that information to have a clear picture of what is happening. So with us, with the system, we know, one, where we are pressured because of the numbers. We know what is it that we're going to do in terms of the interventions. We know in December when we opened the system for late applications, that by the time we went for festive season, already the system was recording 10,000 applications already, which those would have been placed. When we checked the system yesterday, we are sitting at over 26,000 late applicants who are placed already because there's no waiting period. So when you do away with the system, we're not going to be comforted because we would not be having any information. We can't even plan. So in anticipation in Gauteng, we can plan because we've placed over 360,000 already. We know we have placed. And we know the capacity that we have. We have just over 40,000 capacity of us that we can accommodate, those that will be coming to apply in our schools. So the system works very well. The issue that we have here, it's not the system, it's the capacity for schools to can accommodate all those that would have applied at those schools. Just imagine 3,000 people going to queue outside the school, they're seeking for space. Just imagine that system. I mean, there's a school in Tshwane, Langehoven. There's no way that I cannot make an example with that school. That school is in town. It's on a provincial road where taxis pass there. That's where their entrance is. Just picture 3,000 people wanting to access that school coming for applications. It's not going to work. It means that our system will start to operate around March because that's when we will be in a position to teach. I mean, utilizing the system, we know that even if people were to go to our district offices, we're in a position to attend. There's minimal activity at the schools. That's why schools now are shifting the goalposts. They can't even attend to their people of inner grades. Okay. They're sending them here.
Okay, tell me lastly, what is it that you think needs to be done by parents to assist you to avoid all this chaos?
Look, it's for us to be reasonable when we prefer schools. Because we can't always say we want a certain school and nothing. I mean, the parents will apply to only one school, not give you any alternative. So what do? You're going to give that parent an alternative, and then they say, but I didn't apply to the school. And according to our policy, they can object and appeal. And then the parent will be waiting for an outcome of an appeal, and when it comes negative, then we must place that child at an alternative school. So those are the things that we contend with. But we just want to say to parents, we need to look at the numbers and be realistic. Over 360,000, and how many of those that are not happy? We have just 1.5 of those that we had not placed, but probably we have 1% of those that are not happy. But because they can go on radio stations, they can go in the media, they can go on social media and complain, it looks like we have a huge crisis, only to find that those that are happy with the system, they are quiet, their children are at school now. They are not saying, no, the system works very well, we applied using the system, we don't have a problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Steve Mabona. He speaks for the Department of Education here in Gauteng, saying that even parents need to be reasonable when they choose spaces or schools for their children, because sometimes Steve is saying that sometimes parents do not give them an alternative. They only want a specific school, but if they are told that that specific school is not available, they don't want another school. My name is Calvin Dudla for SABC News, Johannesburg.